All right, guys, we're back again for another awesome video on how to execute a cash advance. I'm PK Patel, and I'm here with, again, the man, the myth, the legend, John Matthews. All right, Johnny, so in the previous videos, we covered how to get organized and what a cash advance is. Well, today we're going to tell everybody on how to actually execute a cash advance. Now, anytime you have the terms from your lender, there's going to be separate set of terms for a cash advance. We've covered that in a previous video. Now, there's several ways that one would be able to get a cash advance. What are some of those ways?
Commonly used ways to initiate a cash advance would be at an ATM machine or at a banking branch or over the phone with the banking institution that you're trying to get the cash advance from, or online. Those are the four common ways of initiating a cash advance. And we'll start with the ATM. If you want to get a cash advance on your card from an ATM, you'll first need to find out what your ATM PIN is. Just like your debit cards, when you want to get cash out of an ATM using a debit card, you have to enter in your PIN. Same goes for your credit card. Typically, after a card is approved, the bank will send you an ATM PIN in a separate mailing aside from your credit card. Chances are you may not have that PIN. So if you want to get a cash advance at an ATM, you'll need to call your credit card company and ask them for your PIN. The credit card company won't give you your ATM PIN for the credit card over the phone, but they will send you a letter that contains your ATM PIN. So if you don't have your ATM PIN, call the bank, call the credit card company, ask them to send you your ATM cash advance PIN. They'll mail out that PIN to you. Once you have that PIN in the mailbox, now you can take your credit card to an ATM, stick your credit card into the ATM, enter in your credit card ATM PIN, and then you can elect to take cash off the card, and that will be a cash advance.
All right, Johnny. So certain card issuers will allow you to do a cash advance by walking into a branch that belongs to them. For example, let's just use Capital One since we've been using Capital One for this entire video. Let's say I have a Capital One card and there's a branch maybe 2 miles from my house. When I walk into that Capital One branch and I want to do a cash advance, I walk in. What do I need? Cover that.
Pretty simple. Bring your Capital One card with you to a banking branch, then sit down with the banker. Tell the banker that you'd like to initiate a cash advance from your credit card. If you have a checking account with Capital One, then the cash advance will be really simple. The banker can transfer cash from the credit card directly into your checking account. Now, if you have a Capital One credit card, but you don't have a Capital One checking account, let's say, for example, that your bank account is with TD Bank, then how can you get cash into your bank account? Well, sit down with the Capital One banker, tell them that you'd like to initiate a cash advance. The banker will need to know the account number and routing number of the bank account where you want money to be sent to. So in this case, if you want to send money to your TD Bank checking account, you'll want to have the account number and routing number for TD Bank. Provide that to your banker, and then your banker can initiate an advance into your TD Bank account from the Capital One card.
Got it. Okay. So, moral of the story is bring your credit card with you and bring routing number and account number of your bank account where you wish the cash to be deposited to.
Correct. You can find the account number. For example, TD Bank, your account number can be found on a deposit statement for the Capital One checking account. To find the routing number for TD Bank, call TD Bank or call your institution where you want money to be moved to and ask them for the routing number. They'll tell you.
Got it. And you could also take a copy of your check with you. If it's a checking account, you have a check. At the bottom is the routing number and the account number as well.
Correct.
So getting that information is relatively simple, guys. And this strategy of doing a cash advance for your branch is pretty straightforward. I understand it, and I think it's probably very easy for anyone watching this as well. And with that, let's move on to the phone strategy. If I let's keep going with this Capital One, right? If I have a Capital One card and I wanted to initiate a cash advance over the phone, what are the steps I need to take?
Well, initiating a cash advance over the phone is rather similar to doing a cash advance at a banking branch. Call the phone number on the back of the Capital One credit card, and when you get a representative on the line, let the representative know that you'd like to initiate a cash advance. Again, if you have an account with Capital One, the money can be transferred directly into that deposit account. If you don't have an account with Capital One, then you'll want to provide the representative with the account number and routing number of the account where you want Capital One to send to advance money to.
Okay, so routing number and account number. So it's essentially the same thing as the branch. However, you're doing it over the phone.
You got it. Same
Okay.
experience as doing it in the branch, except you'll be doing it over the phone.
Oh, that's relatively simple. All right, now certain credit card issuers will allow you to do a cash advance online, right? That was the fourth strategy, and since there are hundreds of banks, guys, we don't know who allows what. So the best thing you could do is call customer service and ask them what ways you can initiate a cash advance is. So, and they'll tell you, oh, you could either do it over the phone or you could walk into a branch, or they'll say, well, yeah, there's a link online when you log into your online banking, and you could simply do it from there. So if there is such a way where you could initiate a cash advance online, what are the steps that I would need to take?
Well, log into online banking, search the screen in online banking for the term advance or cash advance for your credit card online. If you don't see those terms, advance or cash advance, anywhere listed online for your credit card, then look online for a link that talks about transfers. Sometimes the ability to cash advance will be within a submenu of the transfers link. So if you see transfers, if you see advances, follow those links until you end up on the screen where you can initiate the cash advance. And again, if you have an account with, for example, if you're doing an online Capital One cash advance, if you have an account with Capital One, chances are you can advance those funds from the credit card directly into your Capital One deposit account. If you don't have a Capital One deposit account, you'll want to know the account number and routing number for the deposit account where you want money to be sent to.
Man, I'm sensing a theme here, Johnny.
Account number and routing number are important. And some important things to keep in mind about cash advances. Oftentimes, when you cash advance a card, there's going to be a cash advance fee. Cash advance fee on a credit card can be 2% or 3% or 4% of the amount of capital being advanced. So, for example, if you were to cash advance a credit card $2,000, then you'd end up with $2,000 cash on hand, but if the cash advance fee is 4%, then the credit card issuer will charge you a $80 fee on a $2,000 advance, which means after cash advancing $2,000 cash into your bank account, the actual ending balance on your credit card will be 4% more than what you advanced. And for this example, that would be $2,080.
Good point. Good point. Now, is there anything else that they need to be aware of or watch out for or be cognizant of?
Remember, cash advances have high interest rates, and also keep in mind if you are going to do a cash advance, oftentimes interest is computed on a cash advance balance daily rather than monthly as regular purchases interest rates are calculated.
Got it. So we covered that in a previous video. However, watch out for the high interest rate and watch out for the cash advance fee. Now, we typically recommend these for shorter term transactions or money that's just in transition. So this time we just wanted to cover the nuts and bolts about a cash advance and how to execute one. In future videos, we're going to be covering how to actually use this tool, even though it's high interest and there's a high amount of fees, how you can use this tool in order to, in conjunction with other techniques, to get cash off of your business and or personal credit cards. Is there anything else?
I think we covered it.
We covered it? Awesome. High five.